So now we'll be creating the log class, which is the class that will drive the wooden log object, and the trash will actually be very, very similar with a couple of different properties, of course, and calling a couple of different functions on hit. But anyway, we have our objects in our library, and in our case that's the log MC linkage. So we'll be using this log MC inside of our class and adding it to the stage inside of our class, and then just kind of moving it and setting all of the destroy functions and all that. So let's start by adding a couple of imports. So import flash display movie clip, import flash.event.event, and also let's import com greensock tween light, which is an awesome tweening library. Okay, and let's extend that one with movie clip. So initially we need a couple of variables, and first of all we need our log MC equals new log MC, which is the object, the actual visual object, the movie clip that we'll be creating. Then we'll be accepting two objects into our class this time. One of those will be hitObject, which is the object I've been showing you before above our ship, this one, which will act as a hit test. So we know when our log has hit our ship. So in order to make that one accessible throughout the document, we'll just define it over here, like so. And var empty, because we'll also be accepting the main timeline, and to make it accessible throughout the document. So this is the public function now, and hit object and empty for main timeline. And now we'll be equaling those two with the variables that we've created outside. So hitObject equals hitObject, and empty equals empty. And since we have our log over here, what we'll also be doing is we'll be adding it to the stage. So this is our log object up here. Okay. And we'll be rotating it 90 degrees or not, depending on this math random. So math random is more than 0.5, and since math random generates a number from 0 to 1, we should have kind of a 50-50 chance over here. And if we do have that, we'll be, so we have log.rotation equals 90, and in this case we'll also offset it to the right slightly, so log.x equals 30. Because otherwise it tends to get into the left edge of our forest line. Okay, and now we need to actually start our enter frame event, which will move our log constantly and hit test each frame against our hit object. So let's do that. So let's actually create a private function which will do all of that for us. So go back like that. This is the if. Okay. And here we'll create our private function start frame void. So this will create our enter frame event listener. And let's say on frame. Okay, and create another private function on frame, EVT event. We're passing the event to it, void, open and close. Okay, so we need to do two things in here. Move the log constantly down, hit test it with our ship, and also if it goes below the level of our application of our game, we also want to destroy it. But for that, of course, we'll need to create a destroy function also. First of all, though, let's just create the log dot y plus equals 2, which is the speed of the log. Okay, so this will move our log constantly towards the bottom. Then let's hit test it. So we have log dot hit test object, hit object, and this is the object that we've passed into our class over here and then made it accessible down here. So we're hit testing, and if we get a hit test, we'll run our destroy function, which we are yet to write. Okay, and also else if we have our, because we'll also do the damage here and not ongoing to the end of the application. That's why we're separating these two. So log y is more than 640, open and close. Again, call the destroy function. We'll also call the damage function up here once we have it on the timeline. Okay, so let's create the public function destroy. We also want to be able to destroy an object from outside, not necessarily only from the inside of the class. So first of all, we'll remove event listener, enter frame, on frame. Then we'll create this tween, so that's the whole green sock tween light up here. And log 0.5. And now we'll actually use that transform around center. So let's go up here to and now we'll actually do the scale x, 0, scale y, 0, alpha, 0, and also on complete remove, like so. Okay, so let's now create that function remove that will remove the log. So private function remove void, and let's remove child log. So we remove the event listener, which could be a problem if we didn't. And at the end over here now we're removing the log object that we've added, and that should kind of clear it up as far as our class goes. Now let's actually try and add this log to the stage to see if we have any errors. So over here, var log equals new log, and let's just check again what we need to pass. We need to pass hit object and this. So hit object will be boat and hit object. So going back, we have logs over here. So this will be boat dot hit object and this. Now add child log, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we have our log up here, but it's not moving. So let's check it out. Log AS. Okay, we are not calling the start frame function, so we need to call that one in order to start. So right here and run, and now we have our log. And now let's try and hit it with the boat. No, we can't because we have that restriction to the moving. So go back. Go back and let's just set our log to be log.x equals 250. Should be in the area now, so we can actually get and hit it and see if it works as it should. Okay, so that's that. It's gone. So if we wanted for the log to actually shrink down to the center, we could either go in here and position it to the center. It's probably not the best idea because we need to have good control over the position, and that kind of complicates the whole thing. You could also use transform around center plugin from GreenSock in order to tween it around center, even if it has its position registration at the top left. And we should have, let me just see for this for a sec. So let's import it up here. And let's do that. So import, but in our log.as. So we have our tween light over here. Let's import com greensock dot plugins dot tween plugin, then import dot com dot greensock plugins, and transform around center plugin. And now we also need to activate it. So tween plugin dot activate and transform around center plugin. Okay, now I can use that down here. So we can say transform around center, scale X, scale Y. Here we go. Run it. And if we hit the log, it transforms around center. Even though if we check it out over here, we see that the registration is now at the top left. Okay, so we've solved that problem with the transform around center from GreenSock. Okay, so let's adjust this class now, save it as trash. And now let's adjust the trash class for the actual trash object.